In our previous video, we sent a verification email to the user who is trying to register in our system. When sending an email from Laravel for the email verification or the password reset, it sends the emails synchronously. To send them via queue, we can use two ways. One, the mailable class or the notification. In this video, we are going to use a notification function that is provided by Laravel, and in further video, we are going to use mail. First of all, when we want to use queue in local system, what we can do for queue is just go over here and then search for the queue here. So queue connection should be database, unless you are using the Redis or other type of queue connections. And another thing that we need to check is just go to the database migration and then check the table called jobs. Here it will have a job table, the job that are going to in the queue, and then pull out from the queue job batches, which we are not going to discuss in this video. And if the job failed, then it will store over here. Now if this table is not generated, what we can do, just go back to the terminal and then just generate queue table. If you already have the migration, then it will show the migration already existed, and then what you can do is PHP artisan migrate trace. Once you are done, you have a 3 table: user, cache, and jobs. You can see the jobs, the failed jobs, job batches table are there, and the cache or cache log table are there. Now let's go back. To use a notification, what you can do is you can run a command called PHP artisan make notification, and let's implement our verification notification, verify email notification. So verify email notification. Once you are done with that, it will create a folder called notification inside app, and then inside it will create your verify email notification. There are a bunch of default data over here, which we are going to talk in any other video. For now, let's clear up the file. And here what we need to do, because we are going to send verify link, what we can do is just import over here, use illuminate auth notifications verify email. And then we actually don't need this one, we can import this, we can extend with this one. And what we need to do is implements suite queue. After that, it will use the default queue, which we can override the name as well. We can actually use this one in a registration controller, but Laravel comes with a handy function in a user model. So let's go back, let's go to the user model, let's copy this one, let's go to the user model, and here let's import it, use app notification and then class. Okay, we already have used notifiable over here. We just need to override the function that triggers the verify email notification. I'll put this one in the description box below, and it came with the documentation. Here just call the function called this dot notify, and inside it let's call new, and then just copy this function, and then here let's do it. Okay, our implementation is actually done. Now let's test. So let's go back to the register, and then let's register new user, and then it is immediately sending the verification link, but it will not come over here. Why? Because it is in the queue. So if I check this function, it will be over here. The queue name is default, and it is still in there, and it hasn't been run. To run this functionality, what we need, terminal and run PHP artisan queue work, which will trigger our jobs. Trigger it, so it will says running, and then it says done. Our table, it will clear the job from here. And then if we go back to our mail function, it will show the email over here. And if we click over here, it should redirect to our application as it was. So let's do that. Okay, so it is redirecting to the localhost 8000. Even changing with this one will not work because the signature is made with the payload. To env here, this is the main issue. So just change this one to our localhost, which is api.test, and we need to stop it, this one. It's php artisan optimize clear, and then let's do php artisan queue work again. Okay, processing jobs from the default queue, and then let's cancel this one. Let's go back and then request another email. It says verification link has been scored. It says running, and then done. Back to our inbox, and then let's refresh it. Here we got it, and then here our email is linked. Let's click it, and then it is done. It is redirect. Now the other thing is we can actually override our queue name. Yeah, just this queue, and then we can name queue over here. Okay, that should do the job. So let's run the queue, and to run this one, just we need to go over here, php artisan queue work, and then dash queue is equal to emails. So it should listen to the jobs inside emails. So register again. So you need the verification, then see our queue is running. Let's go back to our inbox. Then if we see over here, then we get the email, and if I verify it, it will allow me to log in. Okay, that's completes this tutorial. But for bonus, what we can do is we can also implement the reset password. So let's go back, log out, and then log in, and here we can forget about password, and then we can implement this link as well. Here let's make a notification reset password notification, and then let's go back to over here, and here let's change the queue name just to customize emails, and then we can actually clean up everything. And here we'll implement the reset password. Let's paste it over here. Let's replace the notification with this and implement suite queue. Okay, here I'm missing the semicolon, and then let's copy this one. Let's go to the user model, and then let's go to top, and then use app notifications, and then implement this one. And the other function that we need to override is the one thing different over here is it will have a token, so we need to pass this token, this notify new, and then let's go back to the reset password notification, and then here just pass the token. Okay, that's completes the functionality. Let's test now. Let's use my existing user email which has been verified. So let's copy this one, let's paste it over here, and then let's go to the job, and it should have the email queue over here. Let's go back to our code and then run our job, and then queue emails, and then it says email failed. We can actually debug that why it failed. So let's see, it has been cleared from here. So let's go to the failed job and we can see why it is failed. So it says missing parameter route, password reset is missed. So am I missing the token? Token password reset notification is in reset password. We need to assign the token over here. So let's do token, and then here parent construct, pass the token over there. Okay, so this should do the job. Let's clear up. Let's try again. Request again. Let's send it again. And then it's to our inbox. See, reset password notification, reset, and then let's reset the password. There you go. It brings to the end of this video, and in later video we are going to implement our markdown email with a custom design with a queue. If you like this video, give a thumbs up to this video, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.